the prophet. I am the prepper.
And I am the prophet, here to bring you another episode of Fun Talks between regular women.
Yep, because we are regular.
That's right. We're not comedians, we're not actresses,
Nope.
we're not journalists.
We just stating our
So,
opinion. You don't like it, you know how to turn it off. Okay.
okay. Oh, so what are we going to talk about today?
Um, Considering it's kind of appropriate, do you want to hit on a little bit on the Capitol riots, but overall, this is Trump's last day as president, or no? Or if you got
I
another
mean,
sub, I'm more than happy to talk about it.
well, that is good because I have nothing at all. I mean, I was looking at some of the other stuff, and I really hasn't. We could argue the Android versus iPhone or Apple product,
Okay.
but we could maybe do 15 like we did, so first, and then the Android versus it, and it's strictly opinion. I don't know because I don't have an iPhone, so or any iProducts. So, what do you feel about Trump's last day?
Okay, I'm gonna get so much flack for this. I'm kind of sad to see him go. I'm sorry.
Well,
um,
yeah.
when he lost, I was disappointed, but you know what? Life goes on. We're gonna deal with presidents we don't care for, but I mean, whoever's the president is the president. So pretty much that's all there is to it. Um,
Hmm.
did I vote for Biden and Harris? Hell no. Um, and like I said, that's just my opinion. But yeah, he did some good. He really did. I actually had to end up looking it up because I wasn't 100% clear on everything that he absolutely did. Although I know the economy was better, but I actually went on whitehouse.gov. And what they
Hmm.
do is they list all the positive accomplishments of each president, if there are any.
Oh,
And it was really interesting. If I could take just a second or two and do some of these. Um, Before the coronavirus invaded our shores, we built the world's most prosperous economy. America gained 7 million jobs, more than 3 times the government experts' projections. Middle class
hmm.
family increased nearly $6,000, more than 5 times the gains during the entire previous administration. The
Mm.
employment was 3.5%, the lowest in half a century. Achieved 40 months in a row with more job openings than job hirings. More Americans reported being employed than ever before, nearly 160 million. Jobless claims hit a 50-year low. The number of people claiming unemployment insurance as a share of the population hit its lowest on record. Um, let me. I'm gonna skip down a few. I don't need to read every single one. Um, Lifted nearly 7 million people off of food stamps. Unemployment rates for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, Native Americans, veterans, individuals with disabilities, and those without a high school diploma all reached record lows. Unemployment for women hit its lowest rate in nearly 70 years. The bottom 50% of American households saw a 40% increase in net worth. African American home ownership increased from 41.7% to 46.4%. Um, Brought jobs, factories, and industries back to the USA, hit record stock market numbers and 401ks, rebuilding and investing in rural America. I mean, the list goes on. It was a lot. And I didn't know, I mean, because everybody was so negative on him that they just focused on the negative stuff. But And this is according to whitehouse.gov. So they, like I said, they do this for every president. I mean, the pages go on. Seriously. Like, apparently he did a lot in 3 years. Then I know he did more. First of all, I didn't even have to look this up. I already knew he did more in 3 years than Biden has done in 48 years as a politician. So yeah, I mean, the facts are right there.
Well, different positions though. That's saying a partner of a law firm did more for the people than the secretary that's been in in the work. So different positions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So um, that they've held, and even him being vice president is not going to be focused on anything that he did as a part of being a vice president. Like I said, I feel like the vice president is just the backup president. If something
Pretty
should
much.
happen to, but I mean,
Pretty
you
much.
know, there's certain things that they have duties of, but people are not going to do the same. Is not going to look at the vice president and what he did while he was in office because he does nothing of importance. I mean, I'm sure he does something important. He
I mean, was
relieves
he?
president, but it's not like they're not going to look at. They didn't look at Obama's administration as Obama and Biden's administration. Some do, but the overall they looked at Obama and what he did, and like with Trump, they looked at what his. Even though he didn't do it alone, it was the full, it's his whole administration that did it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at Trump like he did it single handedly, and he did not. You know what I'm saying? But his administration, the policies that he passed and enforced, that's interesting. That is a very good, I like the to end on that he did do good, even though we might not like his
Hearing.
diarrhea of the mouth,
Period. Yeah.
but behind this, there was good. It's the same thing, but unfortunately, we weren't doing this back when Obama ended. We could have, I'm sure he did good that people
Oh,
didn't like.
um, reversing a downward cycle that began during the Great Recession, U.S. startup activity ascended, representing the largest year-over-year increase in the last 2 decades. New companies created 889,000 jobs in the final quarter of 2015, the highest job creation number since 2008. Rates for entrepreneurship, I only had like a quarter cup of coffee today, increased for Latinos, African Americans, and immigrants between 1996 and 2015. Between 2007 and 2016, the number of women-owned firms is estimated to have grown at a rate 5 times the national average, including a more than doubling of the number of firms owned by African American women and Latinas. American startups are not only rebounding, they're taking root in more communities all across the country. Compared to 137 countries, okay, the United States continues to top the rankings of the Global Entrepreneurship Index. Okay. So yeah, he's done a lot too.
He did some. Everybody, I think everybody does some good in some way, form,
Yeah.
in their administration and the policies that they enforce and push through. We don't always like their personality or some of the things that they do, but hey, you get all the people all the time.
Right.
You can't please everybody, and everybody's different. So I don't feel no ways. My opinion, I feel no ways about him leaving or staying or whatever. I just don't expect Biden to come in and be our savior and change everything around. It's going to take time. It's just going to take time and compromise across the aisles, I guess that they call it, between two parties. And we're going to keep on going because God loves me. So I'm not, it is what it is.
Exactly.
again, not sad to see him go, not not like he
Right.
should have had 4 more years, or Biden's going to come in and clean up everything. I'm just not that naive to believe that that's what's going to happen.
Right.
So it's what it is.
Um,
But as I said,
um,
I really like that you pulled up what he had done. Because we were so caught up in things
well,
that he said, the crazy antics that he was saying, pull, that we never pulled up. Oh, by the way, he did this. Oh, oh, there you go. Thank you.
yeah, because he brought it on himself as far as everyone looking so negatively at him. But at the same time, why do you keep beating somebody down? Granted, if they brought it on themselves, maybe they deserve it. I don't know. But it's his
It's
last year in
no
office.
different than
Let's
when.
look let's look a little bit at the positive stuff he did. Goodness,
Well, see, that's
even
the same thing.
you're getting
The
rid
same
of
reason. The same reason why they continued beating down on Obama. If you don't
yeah.
like somebody, you're never going to see. And if you don't try to see the positive in that person, then it's nothing that they could do. You could say all this good that did, talking about Trump and his administration in the 3 years that he was in office.
Minus the COVID thing, yep.
Even the COVID, you know what I'm saying? He handled it the best way he knew how, within his power, because some things he wanted to enact that he couldn't do without the support of Congress
Right, right.
to pass it. So he did do some good, but if you don't like him, all you're gonna think about is what you are being told. Some of us aren't doing the research. Um, they just don't like him. There's nothing you can say. Some people just didn't like Obama. There's nothing you can say. But look, he did this.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Exactly.
So, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and what you said reminded me of a Bible verse, which is what I was looking up. Daniel chapter 2, verse 21. And he changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings, and he setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. So
Yeah.
just like he used, who was the guy? Cyprus, Nebuchadnezzar. He used a ton of people that
People did not
even
like.
believe in him, but he used them to fulfill his will. So Trump's time is over. I think he was used by God, and maybe a lot of people don't see that, but I think it's the same with everybody that goes into that office. I think that
I
God
think
uses
God
them
could use
to fulfill
Biden.
what his will is. So
He could use Biden, and he could use
yeah,
Kamala. You know what I'm saying? In his own way. And just like, thinking biblically, when Jesus died, he had to die at the hands of the way he did. So even God used the Jewish people to make that happen. They needed a Judas. Judas gets a bad rap, but without him, I can't be righteous by the blood of Jesus if there was no blood spilled. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So everybody plays their role as they should. Sucks sometimes, but it is what it is.
yeah, exactly.
So we're going on the 13th minute of this episode, so we can go ahead and move on to the Android versus Apple versus Android,
Okay.
and um, I'm just gonna say my opinion. I don't know nothing. I haven't had an iPhone, an iPod, an iPad. I had nothing I. The only I have is in my face.
Is
Right
my
now.
eyes okay?
My eyeballs. That's it. But I will give credit what credit is due is Apple came in with the smartness and turned this world on its head when it came to technology and your phone. So I have to give credit, and I am partial to, as far as Android phones, of course, Samsung. I think that they rival that specific brand rivals.
I agree.
As far as their technology and keeping up with Apple products.
Yes.
Samsung is right. It comes a real tight, just like but Samsung has this.
Yep.
So I don't even know if I can say all Android phones are not equal.
Yes,
So
definitely.
But the reason why I'm an Android or a Samsung user is because they gave me an opportunity to get into the club of having a smartphone. Well, it actually was Nokia, but and it was no Apple. I'm just saying.
Not at all.
I know
But
it
you
wasn't.
could beat the hell out them phones and they would survive anything.
Now I do miss that. These phones are so frail.
It's like you
gotta
dropping
hold it like a newborn baby. Like I don't even want to touch it. Can we speak the word? As soon as it's like you don't even need it. You don't need it. Call Lisa. Skype Lisa.
Okay. No, but being an owner of both, I have owned iPhone products since 2015. So like, yeah, the last 5 years. Nothing brand new. I actually bought them used. I bought my very first iPhone was an iPhone 4 that I bought off of a coworker of mine. And at first it was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just try this until I can get the next Android. Cause like you, I was a Samsung fan. And my main thing with iPhone is I didn't want an iPhone because I didn't want to have to pay for my music. Because the free downloads and stuff that you would get on Android and stuff like at that time. I don't know if it's still like that. But yeah, I got it, and 2 weeks later, I mean, I was completely hooked. I'm like, I am never going back to an Android ever again as long as I live. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the technology. I can't say what I fell in love with, but I just fell in love with that phone. And like I said, I've never owned a brand new iPhone because I'm sorry, it's not worth the money. Right now, I'm talking to you on an iPhone 6s Plus, and I bought that used off of eBay a couple years ago. As long as it keeps working, I mean, I do want to upgrade to an 8 simply because the 8 has a better camera, and then I'm probably gonna stop there until something magical pops out of Apple's ass or something like that. But comparing the two, now technology was not as good as it was back then, but I did notice the speed of Apple a lot. It seemed to be a lot faster when I first converted over. And like I said, I haven't had an Android since then. In fact, I have an iPhone, iPad, and my laptop, because I only use it for writing, is not Apple. But still, I mean, I just prefer Apple. It's just me.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. You said something that's interesting that we no longer get phones for phone reasons. It's like, if it got a new camera.
Exactly.
If it got a new camera, and that is true, it's like, look, I don't care about nothing else. How's the camera? How's the camera, and how much time does it hold, or how much talk time does the battery allow you to do? And that's just interesting. It's like before it was like we was happy if it flips open. Oh, remember the flip phone?
My Razor, I miss my Razor phone sometimes. That was the coolest phone.
Oh, I remember my first flip phone. It wasn't the Razor. It was the
The
StarTAC. StarTAC.
yes, I had that one too.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And it had the headsets.
Yep.
Oh, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Absolutely.
Now,
Only thing I hated because at the time I was in New York and it would not get a signal down in the subways. I'm like, damn.
oh, and if you did get a phone that had that subway, the roaming fees would murder your whole wallet.
Yes.
But we could go on in technology.
Remember BlackBerry? Wait, remember BlackBerry?
BlackBerry was the iPhone of the day back then.
Chop had a BlackBerry. I had bought him a BlackBerry, and I bought one of the first Samsung with a color screen, and it was Sprint.
Sprint always had the good phones. I hated their service.
I hated their service, but they had the good phones.
Specifically, their customer service. After you buy it, they're all sugar and cream when you're going in to buy it. But afterwards, letting anything happen to your phone, try to find somebody to help you.
Girl.
But they was always known for good, as far as actual cell phone services. Remember Sprint before it became a cell phone company? And it was just a long distance.
It was a local.
You could drop a pin, ding.
Okay.
It was a long distance service. So
wait, going back in the day, when I first moved to Atlanta, I worked for MCI WorldCom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, wow. Remember Cell One? That
is there even an MCI?
For y'all that don't know, so your young ones that might run across our video.
Back in the day before we had cell phones.
Cellular One was like Metro PCS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and remember before it was T-Mobile, it was Digitel.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, my first phone
was... But I think, didn't T-Mobile buy out Cellular One or something like that? Because they kind of took on their colors.
They merged like 2 or 3 of the smaller ones and became T-Mobile.
And that's what T-Mobile is doing, is basically it's eating up all the small ones.
Yep.
True to its natural form.
Yep.
But yeah, no. But Android, going back to just kind of keeping to the subject of the Androids and I don't know which one is better personally. You've owned both, and you said that is really good. I think Samsung, as far as I'm a Android snob, and I like Samsung.
Right.
And it's only because I'm used to Samsung. I've had Samsung for the last 10, 15 years. So
I think it's just a personal preference. I mean, because you may get an iPhone and fall in love with it, or you may be like, oh, hell, give me my Samsung back. So,
what happened? I just want to record this. Why y'all don't have that? And that's all it is. It's just a matter of what I'm used to. Yeah. And I don't particularly like change that much.
Well, we're old. We don't like change at all. You ain't lying.
Yeah, I've had this number since forever. But we're approaching the 23rd minute of this video, so we need to start wrapping it up. Any words? Subscribe, click the subscription button on both of our pages.
We are going to be eventually on YouTube, Facebook, hell, probably Twitter. Ain't no telling. I don't know if we have an Instagram because they don't really allow videos, not like long videos like this. So, and Big Shoot. We're looking into Big Shoot too because that's the next YouTube. So definitely that.
Yeah.
But if you like the video, hey, let us know.
Like, subscribe, hit the button. Prepper and the proper for now.